If you love haunted places, keep watching. Oscar Washburn was a black goat farmer who was the victim of the KKK. The legend goes that Oscar, also known as the Goat Man, was dragged from his home to this iron truss bridge in Denton, Texas. The mob proceeded to hang him over the bridge, but were surprised when they realized that his body did not fall into the water beneath them. Ever since that day, countless visitors claim that they have experienced chilling and some even violent encounters on the bridge. Accordingly, Oscar's spirit lingers as a hybrid of a goat and a man. Would you visit the Goatman Bridge? Do you know the story of the Summerton Man? In December 1948, a deceased man was spotted along Summerton Beach. He was clean-shaven, wearing a neat suit and tie, and other than his clothes, had no belongings whatsoever. The oddest part is, his fingerprints did not lead to anyone. However, 4 months after discovering the bodies, investigators found a rolled piece of paper inside a secret pocket sewn to the man's pants. On the piece of paper were the Persian words "Tamam Shud," which translates to "ended." To this day, the mysterious man has not been identified. Do you think he could have been a spy? What this woman went through is everyone's absolute nightmare. In June 2002, 14-year-old Elizabeth Smart was awoken by a man holding a knife to her throat. Her captor, Brian David Mitchell, a deranged homeless man who called himself Emmanuel. That night was the start of 9 months in hell for Elizabeth. Brian and his wife, Wanda Bazi, kept her in a camp where she was repeatedly abused, starved, and treated as a slave. There were moments when Elizabeth was inches away from escaping, like the time she heard her uncle shouting her name from miles away from their camp. But Brian would always threaten to kill her and her family. The torment eventually ended when people recognized Elizabeth inside Walmart. Watch Kendall Ray's video on this subject for more details. Have you ever heard of the traveling corpse? When Elmer McCurdy died in 1911, his body was brought to Johnson Funeral Home in Pawhuska, Oklahoma. The corpse remained unclaimed for about 6 months, and upon realizing that the body was perfectly preserved, the enterprising mortician decided to make money by asking visitors to pay 50 cents to view the body. 5 years later, carnival promoters posing as Elmer's brothers claimed the corpse, and this is where Elmer's lifeless body began to tour the country, get featured on TV, and be used as a prop in carnivals. Eventually, authorities found out about this and decided to give him a proper burial 66 years after his death. As you may know, taking Tylenol helps ease things like headaches and muscle cramps. However, this drug is responsible for killing 7 Chicago area residents in 1982. It all started with 12-year-old Mary Kellerman. Claiming that she felt sick, she took some Tylenol to help her feel better, but little did she know it was laced with cyanide. After this incident, 6 more people died after taking the drug. It didn't take long for the police to find the common denominator in all of these cases. However, to this day, the identities of the people responsible for this mass murder remain unknown. So, you better be careful with what you put into your body.